remember that the only thing that can cancel out with your denominator is your greatest common factor. So how many times, Pamela, does this greatest common factor go into my denominator? 2 goes into 6. How many times? 3 times. So this simplifies to -2 plus minus the square root of -2 over 3. But because I know that the square root of any negative number is equivalent to I, this is actually going to change to 2I. So this is actually -2 plus minus 2I all over 3. And if you remember to do that, you will get full marks on your test. However, you have to put a statement. This is the realm of complex numbers. You do not know how to graph this. You cannot place this x-intercept on a graph. So we have to make a statement at the end. We cannot graph this answer, and this is what you're going to be expected to write on your test, because we cannot graph the square root of a negative number. Not that you have to write this, but just so you understand, there are no such values on the x-axis. You can't figure out what -2 plus 2I over 3 is. You can't figure out what -2 minus 2I divided by 3 is based on what you know right now, and your calculator won't read it either. So I do expect you to come to that answer, but you're not going to be expected to graph it. Okay? Okay, guys, so this is only going to take a couple of minutes, so I'm not going to actually talk unless to specify a few things. So let's just try to be quiet because I'm going to record this as well. So this is assignment A. And you can just copy this. Derive the formula. I don't think you've ever had to derive formulas in the grade 10 course. Sometimes in grade 11 on the seminar sheets you are expected to derive the formula, but we're going to start off with standard form. So 8x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. The rationale is, from this formula, we'll be able to complete the square and come up with the quadratic formula, okay? So let's do this together. I'm not going to explain every step of the way because you're not going to understand it, let's be honest. So let's just figure out how to do a couple of things. First, we're going to take the a term out, x squared plus b over ax. And so I'm basically taking the a out of everything. Now I have to figure my b over 2, so I know that my b divided by 2 is going to be b over 2a. b over 2 squared is equal to b squared over 4a squared. And now we're going to actually use this to complete the square. So first of all, I'm going to divide everything and get rid of my a. And so I will be left with x squared plus b over ax plus b squared over 4a squared. Remember, I'm going to post a video of this as well, so if you don't get the whole thing, don't worry about it. And if I move things over to the other side, that's going to be equal to negative c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. And I'm skipping some steps along the way because otherwise this would be a lot longer. So x squared plus b over ax plus b squared over 4a is going to be equal to negative 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared. So x plus b over 2a squared is equal to, if I were just rearrange the right part of this equation, I'm going to have b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. It's kind of cool. I already got my discriminant. And remember, the strategy I'm using is completing the square. So because I have a squared here, I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to square root the entire right-hand side. So that my left-hand side is going to be x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac and the square root of 4a squared. However, x plus b over 2a is equal to plus or minus, I can't simplify the discriminant. That's going to remain the square root of b squared minus 4ac. However, the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of a squared is a. So I'm getting closer and closer to the quadratic formula. So x is equal to negative b over 2a, because I'm just bringing this over to the right-hand side. Negative b over 2a plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, because I have common denominators, I can now put everything over the same denominator. So finally, I get the quadratic formula. Negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. If you ever plan on taking mathematics in university, that's what it looks like. So proofs, that's real hardcore mathematics. And